Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I break down complex financial subjects into simple, relatable details. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. Let's blame summer. Summer was summery and we were outside, and life is short, but summer is shorter, so we have to enjoy it while it lasts. I had a very enjoyable summer, traveled a lot, had a lot of fun in the sun, spent a lot of time with family and friends, and I sincerely hope you had a blast. I hope you had a beautiful and enjoyable summer as well. Today, we're going to be talking about credits. How I built my credit score from nothing to over 700 within 2 years as a newcomer to Canada. Here's a quick background story. Back in my home country in Nigeria, we don't use credit as much because the process of getting credit is quite rigorous. You need to have a collateral, submit a lot of paperwork and documentation, and most people would rather avoid that. So back home, I did not use credit at all. So I had zero credit history when I landed in this country. The idea and the concept of credit and credit cards and all that was quite new to me. As a newcomer, I was very curious about how the financial system in Canada worked. I quickly learned that having a good credit history was important and that it would be useful when you want to get a mortgage or you want to finance a car or even get a rental. Some landlord would actually require that you have some credit history. I was really eager to start building my credit score. Now, being a very curious person, I did ask a lot of questions for different people, and that brings us to our number one lesson today. Do not take financial advice from your friends and families who do not know any better. It's better for you to consult with a financial professional when you're trying to make a decision. So while I was asking people about, building credit, what are the best tools, what are the best ways to build it really fast, I'm remembering some of the advice I got now, and I'm glad that I was smart enough not to take it. Some people recommended that I go and get a line of credit for no reason so that I can use it and pay it back, and that way I will build my credit history. Some recommended going to get a car loan so that I can have something that I'm financing that would help to build my credit history. Different kind of funny advices that will literally put me into debt. That's not necessary just because I need to build my credit history. Now, the one that shook me the most was there was a financial institution that did reach out to me, and they said that they were going to borrow me some money, but I was not going to get the cash. It was going to look like they borrowed me, but they did not necessarily borrow me, and I'm going to be making some monthly payments that they're going to be reporting to the credit bureau, and it was just not adding up. I was like, I don't understand. I'm not going to see the money. I'm not going to take the money. However, I'm going to be paying money back, and then you guys are going to be reporting the statement, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, right? I'm so glad that I didn't fall for any of those credit building scams. So beware of those and avoid them. Run from them like a plague. To build a credit card in this country, you don't necessarily have to acquire any kind of debt or pay any unnecessary interest. As a matter of fact, I did not pay a dime in interest during those years while I was building my credit. And all I used to build my credit from zero to over 700 within 2 years was essentially my credit card. So as a newcomer, when I opened my account, I opened it with Scotiabank. This is not an ad. And they were generous enough to give me a complimentary $3,000 limit credit card. Oh, I thought they were generous. I was like, these people don't even know me. They don't know my spending habits. And they're just giving me $3,000 credit. What if I'm not able to pay back? Well, I soon learned that that was a trap because they'll be happy if I'm not able to pay back because then I'll start paying interest and then they would make money. But I was smarter than that, thank God. So basically, all I used to build my credit history was that credit card. While the interest rate on credit card is pretty high, um, I didn't fall into the trap of owing and then paying interest. So all through that period, I paid nothing when it comes to interest. All I did was use that credit card to make my regular monthly purchases, groceries, shopping online, and stuff like that. I used my credit card to make those purchases. I make sure that I do not spend more than 35% of my total credit limit. So it doesn't look like I am very dependent on credit. And then I wait for my statements to come and pay back the entire balance before the due date as stated on my credit card statement. That was all I did. Pretty simple. This credit card that was given to me by the bank, use it to make regular purchases when I go to store to buy groceries, to buy stationeries, when I shop online. Make sure that my total spending is less than 35% of my total credit limit. Wait for my statement to arrive and make sure that I pay the entire balance before the due date. That way, I am taking advantage of the 21 days interest-free period whenever you use a credit card, right? So I don't necessarily have to pay any interest, and I didn't pay any interest while I was building my credit. It's very important to be financially disciplined when you're using any form of credit. If you know that you do not have the discipline to pay back any money that you owe, please stay away from credit cards or any kind of loan for that matter. Some people would argue that you need to have a mix of different kind of loans so that you will build your credit score faster. If you do not need something and if you're not getting credit in order to make more money, just stay away from it. Because in the process, you'll be paying a lot of money back in interest. And at the end of the day, the lender is the one who is winning. If your only goal is to build credit, your credit card can help you build credit without you having to pay any interest on the loan. I hope that is clear enough. If you have any questions about that, feel free to drop it in the comment section. However, I'll sharply take us to the screen and show us how to properly read your credit card statement so that you know when to make your payments and you understand some of the terms that we have right there.
Right now, I'm going to show you how to read a credit card statement. This is my credit card, as you can see on the screen. It's from Scotiabank, that's my bank. So you'll see your personal information and address right here. And then this part shows your transactions during the statement period, the date you made those transactions and the day it was posted to your credit card, right? But where you have most of the peculiar information is on this side, starting from the statement period. So the statement period explains when to when the statement covers. So this statement is basically focused on the purchases I made between June 24, 2023 to July 26, 2023. And then the statement date is July 26. So that marks the end of the billing cycle. Of course, your account number would be shown somewhere around here. One of the very important dates to have at the back of your mind is your payment due date. This is the date you must make at least the minimum payment so that your credit will not be negatively impacted. So the payment due date here says August 16. You would see that there's enough time between when my statement was issued, July 26th, and the payment due date, right? So I have about 3 weeks to make that payment, the 21 days to make that payment of at least the minimum payment. Then my whole minimum payment in this case is just $10, right? So this part shows your previous balance in the previous month, and if you're owing, your interest will be here. the interest is charged on whatever you have as a balance by the due date. So in this case, my new balance is $710. If I paid only the minimum payment before August 16, then my credit would not be negatively impacted. However, the financial institution will still charge interest on the $700 that will be left. So if I had a previous balance, then the interest will be charged on it. And that's what you would see here. But I do not leave any balances on my card, so I don't pay interest. Like I said, this is the new balance. So all I would do is make sure that I pay off this entire balance before the due date. And that way I'd avoid paying any interest on any balance that is owing on the card. Credit limit shows the total credit limit on my card. However, since I'm only owing about $710 at this point, I still have about 4,289 credits that I can use. Right. I always try to keep my utilization below 35%. So it doesn't look like I am over dependent on credit. Now, it's important that you know how much interest you're being charged for any amount you leave as your balance beyond the due date. Cash advances is 22%. That's 20.99. That's 23% if I used my credit card to withdraw cash. And then purchases is 19.99, which is essentially 20%. That's a very high interest to want to keep paying on a balance. And that's why I try to clear my balance before the due date. Right. And so basically my card earned the cashback and the cashback summary is seen around here. And that's it. That's how to read and understand your credit card statement. It's pretty simple and straightforward.
Should be told, it's actually very easy to accumulate debt in Canada because they will tell you that some level of debts are socially acceptable. The economy runs on credit. You can be on your own and they will call you that you have been approved for a credit card increase. You could be on your own and they will call you that you've been be approved for a line of credit. You know, if you want to drive a 2023 car and don't have money, you can just walk to the dealership and then you're driving out with a brand new car. Car financing to the rescue. When you want to go to school, no money, student loan to the rescue. In fact, you can buy household appliances and furniture like buy now, pay later, like pay after 2 years. So it's so easy to acquire debt if one is not careful. But the thing about this credit is that they come with interest. There's a cost to borrowing, and these interests are usually high, so they actually make those debts double up very fast over time. For instance, credit card debts. A typical credit card has about 20% to 22% interest. That is huge, guys. How much are you getting when you put your money in savings accounts for it to grow for you? It's usually very ridiculous interest rates. But when you borrow from the same bank and you have not paid back, you're being charged 20%, 22%. It is ridiculous, can't you say it? That the system is designed to put you more into debt than to get you out of it. That's why you need to be very smart and you need to be cautious and vigilant so you don't get into the debt trap. Talking about credit card, if you've got a credit card and the interest rate on it is 18%, to determine how fast your debt will double if you maxed out that card, all you have to do is apply the rule of 72. The rule of 72 tells us how fast it will take your money to double at a particular interest rate. So it's going to work for you if you're saving and you're earning interest, but then it works against you if you're borrowing and you're paying interest. So all you have to do is divide 72 by the interest rate in question. So let's say we got a credit card with an 18% interest rate. 72 divided by 18, it will give us 4. It means it will take only 4 years for your debt to double in value if all you're doing is paying the minimum payment. So it is serious. So when you accumulate a lot of debt, they let you know that, oh, you can pay back small payments monthly. And then your paycheck comes, everybody's coming to take their small payment, small payment, small payment. Before you know it, the whole thing is gone. Phew. So you're literally just working to pay back debt. And then those debts double up and just follow you throughout life. Before you know it, you're at retirement and there's nothing in savings. All your working years, you've just been working to pay back debts. It's a terrible situation to find yourself in. So you have to be very careful and mindful of this from the inception. I hope that makes sense. I'll be sharing a couple of tips that can help us build our credit and help us stay away from debt. Number one is do not take financial advice from your friends and families who may not know better than you. Instead, consult a financial professional like me to ask questions, to seek clarification, and to get good counsel so that you can make informed financial decision. Number two, if you know that you do not have the discipline to pay back money that you owe, please stay away from credit cards, line of credits, and stuff like that. It's better for you to just pay cash for everything. Credit is not for you. Stay away from it because the interest that you would accumulate would rob you of your peace of mind. 3. Do not forget to pay your bills, your utility bills, and all those. They come and they have their due date. Please make sure you pay off before your due date. Number 4. Do not acquire debt just to build credit. Do not finance cars or apply for payday loans just because you want to build credit. We already talked about that. Your credit card is enough. Number 5. Do not co-sign a loan or act as a guarantor except you absolutely must, and make sure you understand all the terms and conditions. And when you do, pray for the best but prepare for the worst because it may affect your chances of getting a loan in the future. Number 6, do not use credit to finance a lifestyle that you cannot afford. Don't even try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't spend the money you do not have to buy the things you do not need just to impress people that you don't like. Cut your coats according to your size and live below your means. Number 7, try to have about 2 credit cards to help keep your utilization ratio down. Number 8, do not depend on only one source of income. Try to have multiple income sources or at least 2 income sources. Get a side hustle. Find other ways to make money. This will help you to build your emergency funds and help you to pay off any debts faster and also keep you from accumulating credit card debt. Number 9, do not file for consumer proposal or bankruptcy without understanding the impact on your credit and for how long it would be on your credit records, because consumer proposal stays on your record for about 6 years and bankruptcy stays there for about 7 years. During this period, it may be difficult for you to acquire credits while you still have it on your records. That's all the tips I can remember for now. I hope you found value for your time. I hope you learned something about building credit, about staying out of debt, and about maintaining a good financial well-being. I remain Adeola Monofi and the Money Vlog for Newcomers to Canada. Try to share that video with your friends and families to educate them about how to use their credit cards, how to read their credit card statements, and tips to improve their overall financial well-being. Thank you very much for coming around today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.